Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to all the viewers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this first day of Ramadan, alhamdulillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places barakah in this month, inshallah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever intended for us, for reaching taqwa, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us that time, inshallah. Today on the 7th shaded program, myself and Yusuf from the youth department, we have a special guest and a special program today, alhamdulillah. We joined here with Ustaz Arshad Samodien, alhamdulillah, and he is part of the Youth For Al-Quds Foundation, alhamdulillah, and also many other organizations he is affiliated to. And today, inshallah, we'll be discussing some of the organizationals that he's busy with, and inshallah, also some of the programs that they are running, inshallah. And we know, being the month of Ramadan, that one of the things which the Prophet ﷺ encouraged, or from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that he would spend like the wind in the Ramadan, meaning he would spend on everything. And what a greater month, inshallah, to earn this. So without further ado, we hand over, we introduce, we ask our guests. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ustaz Arshad, how are you doing?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Mona Yusuf, and all our followers and guests. And today, Jazakumullah khair for having us on this very special day, the first few hours of the most special month. Muslims all over the world are the most excited in this beginning hours. We ask Allah Ta'ala to bless this month, that this month be a month of goodness and of barakah, and returning to Allah and the Quran in this month. That Allah Ta'ala ease the plight of those going through difficulty, and through the barakah of this month, we ask Allah Ta'ala also to ease the big challenge that the Ummah is facing today, inshallah.
So we know we've been having, last week we had the discussion with the Palestinians, with the youth, alhamdulillah. So Palestine is still a topic which is dear to the heart of the believer, alhamdulillah. And obviously also not only that, but on the human rights, that it is very important that we stand for justice wherever it may be. Alhamdulillah, we are with someone who is with the Youth Quds, or the Youth For Al-Quds Foundation, and alhamdulillah, he is also affiliated, Ustaz Arshad, affiliated to other organizations. Just tell us a bit about the organizations that you are affiliated to, inshallah, for these programs of Al-Quds.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. So first of all, I'm part of the Youth For Al-Quds movement, and it's an international movement of youth bodies or youth organizations that strives to bring about an awareness of the city of Al-Quds. And we know the most sacred place in the city of Al-Quds is Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. So it strives to inform youth and people all over the world of the struggles of the youth of that city and around that city, the realities of what's happening there, that sometimes even mainstream media tries to cover up the difficulties, the challenges that they're going through, and also bring about the awareness of the sacred sites, Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak, and all the other sacred sites of that city. So that is part of the main focus of the Youth For Al-Quds movement. So we are part of the South African chapter, and it has more than 40 groups in Europe, in America, in many parts of the Muslim and Arab world, Indonesia, Malaysia. So we are very fortunate to serve on that movement.
MashaAllah. So we hear that this organization, Youth For Al-Quds, is not just a South African thing, but it's an international thing, alhamdulillah, subhanallah. So we see that the youth around the world are moving, inshallah, and obviously we as youth, we should try to get involved, inshallah. Besides Youth For Al-Quds, what other organizations are you affiliated to? Especially I think there's a program, the 100-day program. Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so specifically now, we are now in the month of Ramadan, and just less than 2 months ago, the United Ulama Council of South Africa approached me and asked me to be part of a very exciting program to safeguard Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. It is also another global campaign. It is a global campaign led by an organization called Minbar Al-Aqsa, and they assist and work with ulama bodies and khatibs worldwide, specifically on the issue of safeguarding Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. They started a campaign, a 3-month campaign or a 100-day campaign in Rajab, Sha'ban and Ramadan, culminating with Eid. We are now in the last phase of it, and so it aims really to connect the hearts of the Ummah again to the heart of the Ummah, which is Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. And so we've now, over the last few weeks, been active in spreading that word on the radios, on social media, speaking at some events, and trying to activate others to do the same. Now our the last mile of we could say about this campaign, the last leg of this race is really for people after having connected their hearts, is to to move the people to do something. Everyone after having made that connection, they want to know, so what do we do now? And we are here today to tell them what we are going to do.
Inshallah. So I think what are we going to do? What is the program? Is the last leg? Or just if you can just give a synopsis or a summary of what we've done before, so that maybe the viewers who doesn't know, and then inshallah we can carry out to what is the, like this in the last leg. What is the last leg? What can we do inshallah to help for this cause inshallah?
Some of the programs, because it was online, it's still available on the Facebook pages of Youth For Al-Quds and Birds of the Cape and others. The webinars that we had on the historical importance of Masjid Al-Aqsa up until today, it was a very exciting one by Dr. Abdullah Ma'roof, speaking about the strategy of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in liberating Baytul Maqdis and Jerusalem, and saying that it was not only that Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu was the fortunate one to receive the keys and to liberate that land, but it was actually a very conscious plan and strategy of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam over a long time that guided the Sahaba radiallahu anhum to eventually liberate it. Because as we know, and the Muslims have been reminded over the last 2 months that night journey, the night journey and the Mi'raj to the heavens, one of the main lessons that we learned from that is that our final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and our ummah is now the final inheritor of this land, leader of the prophets and humanity. This message is the final message, and we are now also the inheritor of this land, which is the land of the prophets, not only the land of our, but the land of all the prophets alayhim salam. So now, what do we do? What are we going to do? There's much to do. There's much we can do. There is the educational support, informational support, just to keep yourself updated, so that to keep your heart in check and in contact with what's happening in Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. We started, the Arab world and the Northern Hemisphere started fasting yesterday, and we are on our first day today. So their first Tarawih was the night before last. There were groups that were prevented from entering Masjid Al-Aqsa by the Zionist occupation on the first night of Tarawih. None of us, even now that the masajid are open, none of us went through that. There were those that yesterday, when they wanted to break their fast in Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak, there were groups of kids that they brought in some food to break their fast. They were not allowed, prevented. So the simplest things that we take for granted at one of the most holy sites of Islam is in the most holiest month of the year is a great challenge. For them, perhaps after they have their suhoor in the morning, they have to devise a plan. So how are we actually going to get into Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak this evening? How are we going to get in? Is it scaling a wall? Some years we heard that there were those that went through the sewage tunnels. And there were Muslims that were waiting for them on the other side with clean clothes. Because after going through the sewage tunnel, their clothes were soiled. So it boggles the mind, the plans that they sometimes have to come up only to enter into the sacred place to find that solace, to break their fast, to worship Allah Ta'ala in Salah.
And what is our, like, the youth, what I'm eating tonight, like in devising the buka table.
We are thinking how many chicken samosas, how many potato samosas. We are thinking, you know, is it faluda or milkshake? And all of that is in place. All of that is in place because, as he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Lis-sa'imi farhatan." You know, for the fasting person, there are two types of happiness. The happiness on this dunya is at the time of breaking the fast. You know, whether it is just a sip of water or the date or the faluda. Once it's gone, you know, down. There's an amazing happiness that you feel. Not only happiness of eating, but happiness of having worshipped Allah Ta'ala that whole day of that 12 or 14 hours, being in obedience to Allah Ta'ala, not having touched a water or anything. You know, that is part of that happiness. You know, that comes, and then definitely the happiness of having something nice and sweet to put it to, you know, of breaking your fast.
So these youth have, or the people from the Palestinians are having that happiness as well when they enter into Al-Quds. So they're having maybe as an additional, the sohbah of the companion or the sanctity of Majid Quds.
I would definitely agree with you there, Mulna Yusuf. Imagine that happiness just to be able to reach, and they live very close by. And I mean, even though we live so many miles, in so many thousands of miles and kilometers, and the journey, to go there, and then you could even be prevented, as many Capetonian Muslims and others know, that you can also be prevented even at the borders. And, but it's a journey. It's a journey that comes with it hardships and happiness.
Yes.
You know, as they say, smiles and cries.
Yes.
So the Muslims are definitely, this is the best time for Muslims all over the world.
Yes.
You know, we are here to reconnect, you know, to Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak. As we said, it's the heart of the Ummah, through some specific actions that we want to do. There are many ways to do it. We want to, and this is a time, as you had said earlier, Mawlana Yusuf, that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the most generous that he was in Ramadan. But why was that? Why would he be even more generous? Like, I mean, no one can be better than him. He's the best example, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the best example of a human and of a worshipper to Allah Ta'ala. But here he goes and beats his own self. Already no one can beat him. No one can be better than him because he's the best in every way possible. Yes. But now he goes and outdoes his own self. And all of that is just to show us, you know, that what is possible. Sometimes you reach a certain level, but you can even reach even more. You know, like in any field.
And Ramadan teaches us that you can push yourself beyond that level that you think you can in terms of worship and spending and doing good deeds.
Most people throughout the year, they won't even they convince themselves that they can't go without food and drink for 12 hours or 14 hours. The Muslims woke up this morning and automatically they woke up, they ate this morning before Fajr. Automatically they are happy that they know that I can do this 14 hours. We are just over 12 hours this year in South Africa, alhamdulillah, and different amount of time in different areas in the world. But automatically you can do it.
Yes.
Already the start of Ramadan tells you can do more. You can. Last night we stood for 20 rak'ats in some masjids in Cape Town. Those who had 20 rak'ats.
Yes.
You will tell yourself last week, how can I stand the 20 rak'ats for the whole?
It's almost like an hour. Like you're standing for an hour. You never thought you can take that hour and stand.
Last night you did it with a happiness, you know, because that is it's from Allah Ta'ala, placing it into the heart of every Muslim.
Yes.
You know, the masajid were full, even with the spacing and with all the protocols last night. The masajid were full, you know, and to be part of that was amazing.
So I think inshallah we will get into the specifics of what you and I can do inshallah to assist. And we heard now from Ustaz Arshad of the challenges that they have. So subhanAllah, we have an opportunity here to help them, and there's a few projects that they have, and inshallah I think everyone can, in their own capacity they can. It's like different scaling or different prices or donation amount you can save, which brother Ustaz Arshad will explain now, inshallah. So there is a possibility for everyone to, dig deep a bit, and inshallah this is for our akhirah, inshallah. So bismillah, go ahead with some of the projects, inshallah.
So we want to share some really exciting Waqf projects and assistance projects and that we can do for the people of Al-Quds and surrounding Al-Quds, for Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak and activities inside the sacred Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak. And we say from the beginning that, and we definitely invite people to come and bring different projects to us, different activities. But this is something that we could do on a national level. We are doing this together. So if somebody donates in Cape Town or Joburg, it is on behalf of the Ummah of South Africa, inshallah ta'ala, and it's happening in so many places in the world. So I think we should start by the smallest donation, and that is this is the month of the Quran. This is the month of the Quran. We want to assist students of the Quran in Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak. In Masjid Al-Aqsa Al-Mubarak, we know there are different buildings, the Masjid Al-Qibli, the Musalla Al-Marwani, the Qubbat Al-Sakhra, and then there are even little circles of Quranic memorization in the courtyards, open under the trees. So these little Quranic circles, teaching them the correct pronunciation and the tajweed until to memorization. $10, 150 rand, 150 rand will secure the space of one learner for the whole month. And 150 rand, it's easy. Sometimes we eat it out in one meal for one person. Sometimes we go on an activity for one person for that. Definitely over a month we could say, I can do it, that's my contribution for the month of Ramadan, I will sponsor one learner. Sometimes a young person could say, it's a bit difficult, maybe me and my class at school, I will come together with another 2 learners, 50 rand, 50 rand, 50 rand. 3 of us will make up 150 rand. We sponsor one Quran learner. I mean, can we imagine, the happiness, just the happiness that we will put onto the face of a learner in Al-Quds, in Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak, that is, it was made possible by some learners in Cape Town, in South Africa, in Athlone, in Mitchell's Plain, all over here. It's amazing, this feeling between the Muslims. This is imagine starting off your Ramadan with charity. Imagine opening up your Ramadan and you give it today, the first day. Open up your Ramadan. That is a message to all Muslims all over. Open your Ramadan with charity. What a beautiful way. This is the month of charity.
It's not any charity, it's for the Quran.
Allah Akbar, the month of the Quran. Your charity towards the Quran. Then for families, if we say a learner will cost $10, then a Quran teacher that looks after maybe 10 learners, 15 learners, 12 learners, to sponsor that Quran teacher for the month will cost $100 or 1,500 plus minus 1,500. Perhaps a learner, perhaps a young person can't do that on his own, but on his family level he could do it. As a family, we'll say we could put away 1,500 this month.
Or even a school can come together for that.
A school, a classroom in a school, or a school itself. On behalf of our school, we will sponsor 2 teachers, or 1 teacher, or 10 learners, or 20 learners. So we are definitely challenging and putting it out there to the Islamic schools, to schools all over South Africa, to teachers, to principals, to educational institutions, and to businesses. This is, we need, if there's any time we need to vie and challenge each other, this is the time. If there's any way that we want to challenge each other, this is the way to challenge each other. It's in Ramadan, it's via the Quran, it's without charity. So it's the Quran learner, it is the Quran teacher, and the website, I think it's on the screen.
Yes, it will be in the description, inshallah. The link is there. It will take you to. It has all the different donations on the website, inshallah. So it is in the description, inshallah. But if you need further information, you're welcome to contact us on our website, inshallah, or on the YouTube pages and on the Facebook Live page, inshallah.
Inshallah. So it is there. Once our viewers open up the donation link, they will also see the other projects. There's a wheelchair project. So to buy a wheelchair, and also the assistance of someone who will push, I mean the sick, the elderly, those with special needs, so that they can be mobile inside Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak. You know, Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak is it's one of the biggest spaces. It's similar to Makkah, Haram and Medina. It's a massive space. The courtyard of Masjid Al-Aqsa is 144,000 square meters. It can take inside the walls of Masjid Al-Aqsa can take 750,000 worshippers. Almost a million people on the internet. It's massive, it's very big. And also then it's on a hill. It's not only just flat. So I think it's $300 for a wheelchair and the person a worker that will help push the sick and the elderly and those with special needs. So for monthly cost, that is $300. We can break it up into 10 shares, $15 a person. We're talking about 200 rand, 220 rand. The wheelchair project, the orphan clothing project for Eid, and you'll find it on the website there. $60, just under 1,000 rand, to fully clothe an orphan for the day of Eid. As we look forward to clothing ourselves and our kids and our families for Eid, imagine that your family, you as a family, clothing an orphan child. And that orphan child is going to spend Eid, a part of Eid in Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak. And our family, for example, sponsored the clothing of that person. And then there's we could say the greatest of these projects, which is a Waqf project. A Waqf project means a charity that not only going to give it now and it's done by the time when the person eats that food, the clothes is done. But the Waqf charity means it's a perpetual. So it goes on. Sadaqatul Jariyah. It doesn't end here. Bi'idhni ta'ala. This is it's called the square meter project. So if we said Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak comprises of 144,000 square meters, the Minbar Al-Aqsa Foundation organization in Turkey has come up with a project where they put a value to each square meter in Masjid Al-Aqsa Mubarak. And then that value, they've put it at $1,500 in rands, 22,000 rands, 22,000 rands. This money is then put into commercial projects, buildings, student housing, commercial projects, other commercial projects inside Al-Quds and inside Turkey. So it is in fixed projects. The income from there will go to, for example, into these projects that we've spoken about, and other projects.
So this is your perpetual.
So you give that to as a family, as a community, as a masjid. A masjid could come up with that over this month. A school could come up. A business, a business family, a business person or others. So. Or even together, it could take a few people together. If we say each one comes up with 5,000 rand, we want to come up with to sponsor a square meter. But the income from that is all pushed into these projects. We continually be pushed into the projects. Last but not least, you forgot to ask me about the oil project. There is a very beautiful hadith by Maymuna bin Sa'd radiallahu anha, when she asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Aftina fi Bayt al-Maqdis." Tell us about Bayt al-Maqdis. As we say, give us a fatwa, give us information, tell us about Bayt al-Maqdis. And he said sallallahu alaihi wasallam that this is the place of gathering and resurrection of humanity. Go to it and pray in it. Go there and pray in it. After that, she asked, what if we cannot reach it? Imagine the foresight and the importance of this place. It has come true because most cannot reach it. Yes. How true are the words of the Prophet and the Sahaba. Then he said, then send something to light the lamps in it. And for it will be as if you do that, it will be as if you have prayed in it. It will be as if you have prayed in it. So there's a project called the oil project. 150 rand donation, and that will go towards the upkeep, general maintenance and upkeep, and spend the monthly costs for Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak. This is also something that any of us easily can come up with, whether it's per person 150 rand, or come up with my friends or my colleagues at school or work. So this is definitely things that we want all of the Muslims of Africa to start their Ramadan with. Start your Ramadan with charity. And of the best, and definitely we know the Muslims are going to make charity like the wind. They want to be like the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They're going to do it from this morning. They're giving it, as they see poor people in the road. They want to share people. They're going to invite people for iftar. They're going to, they're going to do it. They want to give out their zakat. People are going to. Yes. So we are saying, do that, and also starting off with a charity for Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak.
Just one question about charity. Like, what is the, like you said, it's different things, things you can give charity, but what is the benefit of like channeling into one? Like for example, for Masjid Al-Quds, like we have like Minbar Al-Aqsa, so they are spearheading this whole upliftment of Masjid Al-Aqsa. What do you think is one of the most important benefits of channeling funds into specific projects?
That's a great question. And in fact, it ties into one of the keys to liberate Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak, and that is the unity of the Muslims. We will not, or we will liberate Masjid Al-Aqsa when we unite more and more and more. Ramadan brings us together. Everything in Islam is about bringing us together. That's the gain. Aims to bring even our charities together, so that it is better managed, better administered. That also the effects on the ground, is also maximized and amplified. There's no one can tell a child, about the importance of unity. Take a few sticks together, Mona Yusuf, anyone out there. You take one little stick that you find in the road, and you can break it. Yes. Take 10 of that type of sticks and put next to each other, and automatically they become stronger. The Muslims, this is a time for Muslims to unite, to put differences aside, and Masjid Al-Aqsa al-Mubarak also represents that cause that will unite the hearts and the deeds and the Ummah. Ameen.
There was actually one thing that I forgot to say, that for the endowment, you will get a certification. Is that true?
That is very true. So not only for the Waqf, the square meter Waqf, where you get a special certificate that one can put on the wall. There's also little certificates even for the other projects. So if you donate online and add your details when you do that, and then Minbar Al-Aqsa will be in contact with you, as well as we invite the community to get in contact with us this month here at the MJC at the Al-Aqsa office here, and get in contact with us. For those who cannot, we definitely ask those who can to do it online. Is going to be the easiest way. The money will reach there the fastest, and then you will get the certificate the quickest, and the impact on the ground will be quicker. For those who cannot, then also make contact with us for additional donations, inshallah.
So we'll leave comments in the description, inshallah, for Ustaz Samodien's contact details, inshallah, or they can just come straight to the embassy offices and inquire about about Sheikh Ustaz Arshad and the donation, inshallah. One last thing, inshallah. Sometimes we can't give monies, but alhamdulillah, we know that Ustaz Arshad is from Youth For Al-Quds. So if the youth out there, specifically in Cape Town, South Africa, they want to volunteer, how can they go about doing that, inshallah?
So we are inviting youth from all over South Africa, and from Cape Town to all over South Africa, to get involved. Charity is, yes, it's with my money in my pocket, but it's also with my time, with myself, which is a very high level of giving, to give of yourself, to give of your time. So we are asking youth to get involved in this project. This is a noble project, a noble cause. We are waiting for youth this month to contact us, to assist us, to be with us in this noble venture, this noble cause, on this noble journey to liberate Masjid Al-Aqsa.
We say Jazakallah khairan to Ustaz Arshad, alhamdulillah, giving us lots of information. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the tawfiq, inshallah, to dig deep in our pockets, inshallah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the means of spending, especially the what's the name, the Waqf one or the endowment renaissance, that is it's a very high amount though, but inshallah will be a sadaqatul jariyah, and not any masjid are you looking after. You know, building any masjid is there, but this is the third most sanctified masjid in the sight of the Muslims, subhanallah. So this is a opportunity for everyone out there, inshallah, to be part of this endowment, inshallah. Again, we say Jazakallah khairan to Ustaz Arshad. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala place barakah in his life and his family, inshallah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to use him for khair, inshallah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us and all the viewers a Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take us from strengthening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.